Good evening. Tonight is our legislative committee, November the 10th at 6 o'clock. I'm going to go ahead and call this meeting to order. Taking roll, we have one member absent. Commissioner Chambers is absent tonight. Everyone else is present. If everyone would look over the agenda and see if you can see any modifications or anything to the agenda that we need to do. If not, I will entertain a motion to accept the agenda.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Commissioner Miller made the motion. Commissioner Smith seconded. All in favor? Aye. Okay, approval and modification of the minutes of the previous meeting. Commissioner Chambers is our secretary, and the minutes were not provided for tonight, so we will get those at our next meeting. Nobody's here for public comments. No unfinished business. We'll move on to new business. New business, public comment policy. This is something that we have visited last meeting and sent that back to policy and procedures for a revision. And so Commissioner Miller's on that committee, so he can help out with this, but it was sent back to us. One of our problems that we had during the discussion was about the donation of minutes. It was sent back because of our concern about that, letting residents donate time to people speaking. That was sent back, and Commissioner Hirschman, who I think is he the chair?
Yes.
Of Policy and Procedure, got with me and said that was a state recommendation that we not do that because it could just make it go on forever. And so they said they are highly recommending that counties don't do that. So they sent it back as it stood with still no donation of minutes. There was also a revision also for the to add that the way the public comments is 3 minutes, 10 slots, so basically 30 minutes, but that would be per agenda item. That would be on the for public comments. So for example, if we had 5 new items, that would be 5 30-minute blocks that would be available for public to speak. Also about that would be also that currently it is for residents. The way it's worded there, you must be a county resident. That is also a change to be county resident or property owner, to give people who own property, who still pay taxes here, a chance to speak on any other items that might affect them as a property owner. So that was the item, that was the two things that were sent back to us for the public comment policy. Do we have any questions or discussion on it?
No.
Mr. Miller? Did I summarize it pretty good?
You did well.
Okay.
We took a fair amount of time beating it back and forth and
Sure.
massaging it to what I think is a better policy.
Okay.
That way, if someone signed up on the sheet and they could be number 45 on the sheet, then the first 30 minutes wouldn't be taken by somebody else that had a different item they want to talk about.
Sure. Sure. And I agree. I mean, it shouldn't be just the first 10 that just happen to show up early and be able to get on the list. If you had something that you thought was pertinent to your situation that was on the agenda, you ought to be able to speak on it. So, with that being said, if we don't have anything, I would entertain a motion to accept the policy as presented by Policy and Procedure to us.
I would make that motion.
Okay, Commissioner Miller made the motion. Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
Okay, Commissioner Smith seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, motion passed. The next thing on their agenda is about the separation policy. Currently, our separation policy states that if you, it's worded voluntary separation. Currently, if the county pays for any training, such as like us, at the sheriff's office where, my other job is, that if we send somebody to the academy or training and it costs, then for 2 years that they're employed, they're basically paying back that expense of training back to the county by getting work done. If they happen to leave within, say, a year, that training, if the training costs $2,000, and they leave after a year, it's prorated 50%, they would owe the county back $1,000. The way the current policy says, it says voluntary submittal. That means that if they just happen to quit, that is the only time that they are afforded to have to pay it back. But if they're a bad employee, if they do something that's against the policy or rules and they get terminated, technically under the policy right now, they would not have to pay that back. The policy and procedures looked at this and had it added that the revision to the policy regarding the reimbursement to the county for training / certification, separation before 2 years of service, remove voluntary separation and add and leave just separation for the reimbursement will pertain to resignations as well as terminations. Is that pretty much what they did?
Yes.
Okay. Any questions?
If someone quit and owed part of the money back, I mean, how would you go about collecting if they just took off and left?
If they
try to
do,
take it that last check.
sir, yes, sir.
Oh, okay.
They try to get what is, if it's available for the last check. Now, there is a question of, if you owe $1,000 and your last check's 500, well, where's the other 500? I think that would be a part that we would then have to go to our county attorney and try to seek some type of recourse civilly to obtain that if they refuse to just pay it back. I know a lot of times, a lot of departments, they will tell them, and sometimes they come and pay it, sometimes they don't.
Most people will have some sick leave or vacation or something.
Sure, that does
Yeah,
add it up to the point
In other
that they do.
cases, most cases.
Honestly, right now, I don't know of any. I mean, I know training can be expensive, but top of my head, as far as like some of the most expensive training, really and truly, some of the most expensive training is stuff that we do. Like some of our classes, like the academy typically costs, when they're not doing it right now. Like I said, they're doing some of it for free now, under the new state government guidelines. But it typically, before they done that, it was like, I think it was up to $5,000 a person to send somebody. So, I mean, if somebody left a year into it, that's $2,500, and I mean, they might be able to have that if they had, like Dwight said, Commissioner Miller said, have some vacation and sick, they would be able to get it reimbursed. So, any other questions?
I guess it was really just a very simple change.
It was.
Adding
It was.
in it, whatever separation
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
includes it.
Because as of, like we said, as of right now, the way the policy sets, it's only if you decide to quit on your own, if you happen to be a bad employee, had your reviews and was done and evaluations were done and they chose to separate you, then technically right now you wouldn't be afforded to have to pay it back.
And if anybody thought about that to any extent, they would just figure out how to get fired.
But, right, just before I quit, I would just, hey, I've done got this job lined up, I'll just get fired, and that way I don't have to pay it back. And I've got me a job, and I'm ready to go. So,
Well, that's a good revision.
so that being said, do I hear a motion to accept as presented by policy and procedure?
I'll make a motion.
Okay, Commissioner Brown made the motion. Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
Commissioner Smith, second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Any announcements from anybody on anything?
I did have someone had a question, basically. I don't know that it's a question, but a concern that will likely come up, either policy and procedures or legislative, that there's been some concern about people using time during work and using social media or telephone, etc. I'm not sure how that's gonna be addressed, but it's always gonna be a problem ever since we got basically smartphones.
Sure.
So if anybody's got any comments or suggestions or just something to kick around, we're not gonna vote
You know,
on it.
inevitably, sure, but I think inevitably, you know, if the county does, draft one, just my opinion, it would give the department heads some teeth if they don't already have their own policy, that's of either social media policy or cell phone usage while at work. I mean, I know we all live and breathe by the cell phone now, whether it's be by calendar or appointments or just whatever. I know we all use them. In fact, that's using mine tonight to read off what policy had forwarded. But I do agree. I mean, it is something that if it does become a problem, inevitably though, the department head's gonna have to be the one to enforce it. You know, we as a committee or as a legislative body don't have the power to fire anybody if they're violating it.
I don't know that we've got any kind of policy addressing it.
I
And
don't know
think
that we
was
do.
The concern that,
Because I think the social media policy that the county has is just talking about basically what you put out there in context. I don't think it has anything to say about while on duty, while at work, that kind of thing. I don't think it has anything to that. It may. It's been a while since I've read it.
I know maybe a few years ago, there was, apparently, the county's got the capability to monitor every traffic on the internet.
Oh, sure.
So apparently, a few years ago, that information was passed out to show how many percentage minutes
Sure.
employees were using
Right.
things like that during work time. So
Sure.
it probably is something, if we can address it, ought to be talked about and tried to come up with something. But, you know, the problem is with no policy, one, say a department head or elected official, whoever, is out on a limb by themselves pretty much without a policy.
Sure.
And I'm just pleased that somebody would be caring enough to want something addressed about it.
Sure. Anything else? The way our meetings go, unless anybody has any objection, is just as needed. Is that still good with everybody? Okay. I mean, if we don't have anything, I don't think it's just to have a meeting, just to have one.
I agree.
Okay. Our next meeting will be called as needed. If nothing else, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
Commissioner Miller,
I'll second.
Commissioner Smith, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank y'all.
Thank you.
I've always been in favor of, if we don't have much, it's not worth a meeting.
Right.
If it's not critical, just call the meeting.
I was kind of skeptical about this one only having 2 items. I was like, but got it done, got it over with. So
Well, at least it goes before
it'll go full
Yeah,
commission
commission.
next week, so
because it didn't get done the
last time, sure.
And we're not having, everybody's closed tomorrow, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
As
it's
far as
county,
I know.
yeah, it's county holiday. You're not.
So I'd say, I
We're
knew it
not.
was.
We're
I knew
not.
it was.
Yeah, we're not, so. It's the old saying, we doze, we never close.
And how did I not know there was a Veterans Day parade?
Tullahoma's always had one. I, of course, don't go to the one. in
Do we have
Indianapolis.
one?
Yeah, you might as well turn it
Um,
on.
Push stop, it's still running.
I don't know.
Yeah, hit
well,
stop
I
again.
think was there one in Manchester?
I said, I don't know, cause I've always
Well, I
gone to
saw
the
some
Tullahoma one.
pictures. Well, maybe that's where it was, but I don't know.
Was it Tullahoma's?
I don't know. I just saw pictures of a Veterans Day parade.
They've had one several years down at the Civic Center in
I
Tullahoma
bet that's it.
and have speakers and all.
Puts a check mark up there, but you won't shut off.
Well, I felt bad. I was like, how did I not know there was a Veterans Day parade?
I would think they'd have one here, but I don't know. Like I said, I've always
Why is it still great?
gone to the one
Hold on, I can tell you real
in
quick.
Tullahoma.
I can tell you if we're still.
See if we're still live.
You're
Yeah.
still on.
Yeah. But on there, it says. Yeah. No, we are.
It's off.
No, we're still live. No, there it went. No, you just hit presentation mode.